Hey everybody, today's verse of the day is from the Gospel of Luke chapter 19, verse 38, and it reads, "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord, peace in heaven and glory in the highest." These are the words of the crowds that are greeting Jesus as he rides into Jerusalem. This is the famous Palm Sunday scene. And these are the same crowds that are going to be weeping and mourning over Jesus as he carries his cross to Golgotha to die, barely 1 week after this moment. And so this whole story of Palm Sunday and leading into Holy Week and Easter, this is a story of dashed expectations and shattered hopes. What these crowds are saying, these words actually are not even their own words. They're quoting from one of Israel's famous psalms, what we call Psalm 118. And it's a psalm that is celebrating how God would rescue his people by sending a king and to save them from their enemies. And for these crowds, the enemies are really clear. There's Roman occupying forces and soldiers like everywhere around the city. And they assume that Jesus is going to overcome them, which is true in a way. But the way that Jesus is going to gain victory over his enemies is not at all the way that these crowds assume. And this really is what the mystery of Palm Sunday, Holy Week, and Easter is all about. The mystery of the love of God that would save his people from their enemies by letting his enemies kill him and take his life, precisely so that he could pick it back up again and offer forgiveness and hope and new life, all as an act of love. And that's really what Holy Week, all of it, is about, is pondering the mystery of the love of a God who would surrender his life for his enemies in order to save them and his friends.